Welcome to the Model Car Hobby Headquarters Unpodcast with your host, Luca C. Now here he is, Luca C. Well, hello, my fellow car maulers. How are you doing today? We got another great, exciting episode of the Unpodcast, and I have right over here a special guest. You might not know him by face, but I bet you've heard of him. It's Michael Guest of MCW Finishes, and he's got his hobby shop, Winged Wheels and Waves, and we're going to be talking to him tonight. How's it going, Mike? Thanks for coming on.
It's going great. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, yeah, excellent. Well, you know, you do a great service to the hobby, and looks like you're wanting to build it up even bigger, so I figure, hey, let's have you on, and let's talk about your product and talk about, you know, if you anything about models. Do you primarily do cars yourself personally?
No, I do not. I've probably built 2 or 3 cars since I've been building models.
Oh, really?
I am primarily a military builder and
sci-fi. Oh, no kidding. No kidding.
Yep. And the funniest part about my model building is that I hate to paint.
Me too. I can't stand it, but
I can base coat anything. I can give it the first color, but past that, it's all downhill from there.
Yeah, I'm great at primering. Yeah, but what was this? This was just an opportunity you came into getting MCW and keep the line going, because it's definitely been a product that's been in our hobby, with the model car hobby, since late 80s, early 90s, was it, I think?
Well, to give you a little bit of a background,
yeah,
I'm in Northeast Ohio, in Massillon, which is about 40 miles south of Cleveland. Grew up in a town, North Canton, which is 10 miles from here. My first job was working at a hobby shop when I was 14 years old. Had to support my habits somehow.
Yeah.
And the name of that model shop was Model Car World. And it was owned by Dave Dodge, who was the owner of MCW Automotive Finishes. So I worked for him till he ended up closing his store up in 83, I believe it was. And, and he went on with his life to do other things. It was always a side job for him. So, but it's something that got into my blood. So, I mean, I've been building models since I was 6 years old. But working at the hobby shop just got into my blood. And, you know, Dave was a good friend and a mentor. And he taught me a lot. And here, 45 years later, 40 years later, here I am running a hobby shop. And when it came time for him to retire or semi-retire, and he sold his business to me, and here it is now. He primarily did just the lacquer paints.
Mm-hmm.
And here, a year and a half ago, I'm here in my hobby shop looking at my empty Model Master rack. And I says, well, what am I going to do? Model Master's going away, so I need to replace it with something. So I'm thinking, okay, there's Humbrol, and then there's Revell, which is Humbrol. And I looked over and I saw my rack that I had my lacquers on. I said, so wait a minute. I make paint for a living. Can I make it? So I did some investigating and stuff and looked and says, well, yeah, I can make enamel paint. And there we are.
That's cool. And so you, there was a vacuum there in the paint world, and you're stepping right in there.
Yeah.
So when you bought your business, was it the whole hobby shop and everything you bought from him, or you own the hobby shop and then?
I've had the hobby shop for almost 12 years now.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
I've owned the paint business for about 5, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
5.5, something like that. So yeah, I had the hobby shop way before I ended up with the paint business.
So you have a hobby shop. But the hobby's dying. That's what I keep hearing. The hobby's dying.
I don't know. It caught COVID and revitalized itself.
Yeah, didn't it though? by tenfold.
Yeah,
I know.
My hobby shop is not big. I mean, it's, I do a little bit of everything here. I mean, I can walk around and show you what we've got. Because that's where I'm at right now. I'm here all day. But it's
that's awesome.
I don't know how you can see it here, but this is.
Oh yeah, show us. Let's see it.
This is behind my counter area here. We do like Magic the Gathering and Pokemon and stuff like that. Over here's. And I'm trying to look at the camera as I'm walking around, so I apologize.
Oh, no problem.
Just some of the paint racks and everything that we've got.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we've got plenty of stuff, and I run my business, the hobby shop, and the paint business almost as separate entities. So here we come over here to the model area. We've got Gundams, and again, if this is all blurry and I'm speaking out of turn, I apologize.
It looks great. No, keep on going. Everybody wants to see a tour of a hobby shop.
This car aisle, and we've got some radio control car parts and stuff here. We can turn the corner. We get Plastruct and Evergreen, and then there's airplanes. And we've got tools. We've got tanks. We've got trains.
This is a
cars.
Nice, well-stocked hobby shop you have there.
Scenery stuff. This is gaming stuff. Dungeons and Dragons and board games and
awesome.
All that kind of stuff. We have over here. We've got war games and whatnot. My messy counter since we're closed. So that's the general tour of the sales floor.
That is awesome. That is a really well stocked. All your shelves are full. That's a great hobby shop. I would hang out there. You'd have to kick me out.
There you go. I do kick people out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I bet you that's a fun place to just chill out. Especially with the gaming, that always brings that kind of atmosphere in is people hanging out and doing the gaming and all that stuff too.
Oh yeah. And I've actually got a second floor that is just tables and chairs to do gaming. And
that's great.
Model car clubs that meet here. In fact, tomorrow the North Coast, I think it's the Cleveland area modelers are going to be down here.
Oh, okay.
Cleveland's about 40 miles just to have their meeting down here.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. It's a good place to have a meeting. That's a nice hobby shop you have.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. So if any of you that are in the area there, I hope to make it up that way sometime. I got to come check it out.
Like the snow's coming, so.
Oh yeah.
And it's oh God below, so.
Yeah, we don't have that here in the desert.
No,
I'm in Phoenix.
So. It's probably about 25 degrees outside right now.
Oh boy. Good model building weather though.
And my business here, it's very cyclic. In the summertime, people are outside doing stuff around here, so business goes down.
Yeah.
And that's where things like the gaming comes in handy, because the gamers are playing games all the time.
Yeah, that's true. Especially that you provide a spot for them. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. So then you got into the just because the opportunity landed of getting MCW Finishes. I kind of remember when that happened, that everybody thought it was going away and you picked up the ball and run. That made a lot of people happy. Yep. But then you get into doing the enamels just because of the Tester's Void. And how's that working out for you then with your enamel line?
It's going great, actually. Not to, my shoulder works and I can pat myself on the back, but it's really helped out, the hobby, I think. It has. Right now I've got over 300 colors. Probably.
Oh, really?
350, both in military and automotive. And I make more almost on a daily basis.
And And this is a hobby grade enamel, or is it a industrial grade or automotive grade, or
Automotive grade.
it is automotive? Oh, that's nice.
Steps above testers. Not to knock testers. I mean,
Yeah.
testers, it's ups and downs, over the. But we use PPG products.
Oh, okay. All right. You just won me over there. That's my favorite. I used to manage an automotive paint store, and we had the PPG. I always messed with PPG when I worked in the custom paint shop and all that stuff. I like their products. It's top quality. So then that way you're getting factory colors down perfect then.
Oh, yeah, they are. They are perfect. I mean, there's not to go into names, but there's a real car restoration company that I sell touch-up paints to.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah. Nice.
So
nice.
Little touch-up bottles.
Yeah, and like I was talking to you earlier about Matthew from Model Car Videos, he pumps your stuff up a lot, and he's been using it, and then started getting the hardener that you put out, and did his past 3 or 4 paint jobs, and he says that hardener for the enamels was just a game changer. It totally changed his quality of his paint jobs.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, and it doesn't take much in the paint, but it just makes it that much easier. You don't necessarily have to use dehydrators if you don't want to. It says it'll cure your paint job in 8 hours at 70 degrees.
Really? Because I'll tell you, that has been the thing, me personally, where I have hated enamels and testers enamels. I have a hate relationship with testers, so I wasn't so sad. So testers was like made me cringe whenever I heard the word enamel. So I wasn't so excited at first, but then like watching Matthew, and he was laying these paint jobs out with the hardener added to it, and I'm like, I think I might have to try this.
Yeah,
I might have to try it out.
Even without the hardener, it performs well.
Yeah.
For the people that don't want to have to mess with mixing that in and stuff, because once you mix it in, your paint's done. So you need to mix in what you use.
Yeah.
It can be thinned with lacquer thinner. Mr. Leveling thinner works great in it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Yeah. I can spray it, and it can be dry to the touch in half an hour. Now you don't want to put your finger into it because you'll leave a fingerprint because it's not hard. But I can handle it and touch it 3 or 4 hours, and it's handled. You can handle it without any problem.
That's good to know. Yeah, because definitely it's nice to have there's quite a few different products out there now, and it's just nice to know that there's a good choice like that. Someone here in the States doing it. And you do sell to other hobby shops or other dealers, or is it strictly order it straight to you from you?
No, I actually I just sent out 2 orders today to do 2 different hobby shops.
Oh,
and there's distributors that are carrying it that the shops can buy from. So there's a California Hobby Distributors out there on the West Coast carry our product. And then Hobby Time Distributors carries our product.
Oh, yeah? Okay. I know them.
I know there are a number of stores that buy through those distributors. And then there's a number of stores that buy directly through me. So I offer the wholesale prices to them so that they can make money and keep their businesses going as well.
Wow. You must be working a lot of hours, because I know what mixing paints. Where do you have the time to do it if you're running a hobby shop all day too?
Well, like I said, I got an employee. I come in early, get stuff done during before the shop opens and whatnot, and while the shop's open, I'm packaging up orders and getting resin kits done and things like that. That's the other part of the business, is other than paint, is the resin. Yeah,
you pick back up the resin line.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yep. So,
are you having someone else cast it, or are you doing all the casting and everything too?
Yeah, in fact, we'll walk down to the basement, the dungeon.
Oh, Man,
This is the super secret area back here.
I won't tell anybody.
Okay. Yeah, so we've got some resin kits on the shelf.
Oh, look at that. You're
Mm-hmm.
definitely all
There
well
we've got
inventoried.
a bunch of promos that I'm selling for Dave. Let's see, what do we got over here? We've got this is a computer where I do decals. So we can walk down here to the dungeon. Over here is you can see them. It's a bunch of molds.
Oh, wow.
Lots and lots of molds.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And you know, you get, depending on the car, there's, you know, this one here, this is a 66 Chevelle altered wheelbase, 2-door hardtop. It takes all those molds to make one kit.
Yep.
So some of them are less. And let's see, over here, this is where we bottle all the lacquer paints.
Oh, yeah. You got all the mixing banks, huh?
Yep. Well, these are just pre-mixed cans. There's over 1,000 colors here on these shelves.
Do you do the mix? Do you have a mixing bank and you do it there, or you do? Oh, okay. Yep. Recognize that.
Got all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh my
So
goodness.
yeah, so I mix it all here. I've got old microfiche for all these old formulas for all these colors. So we mix them up half a pint at a time and bottle them as people order them.
Okay.
So yeah, like, you know, right here, 66 General Motors Aztec Bronze Metallic.
My first car was a 69 Oldsmobile that was Aztec Gold.
Yep. So that's, you know, then we can walk over here. The basement's huge as well. We can walk over here. This is my casting area.
Oh, yeah.
All the tanks. Pour the resin and everything. Got all my masters for my car, different cars and stuff.
That is awesome.
So yeah, it's a mess, but it's
that is pretty organized. That's really well organized. I'm impressed. I used to do resin casting, so I know what it takes to do that. Okay. And I'm actually starting back up with doing some stuff, but not that extensive. But yeah, that looked really well organized to me, because I know how hectic that business can get doing that resin casting. That can be stuff all over the place really fast.
Here's some of the stuff that I got when I purchased the business that continues to help out almost on a daily basis. Dave had all kinds of paint chip books and everything.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I have, you know, here's, you can see it again. You know.
Oh yeah, the old paint chip books.
Yeah, I mean, I've got them, you know, all the way back.
And you have all the formulas, and that's the key.
Yep. So here's, let's see, here's some old ones. Yeah, again, if you can see it.
Yep.
1939 Packard.
Oh yeah, that shop that I worked at was, you know, just a few years ago, and we had all the old ones still. We still had to be able to get to that old paint formulas and have those chip books.
My private stash of models. This is again all kinds of old military and sci-fi stuff.
You don't have a model room at home, because that is your model room right there.
That's my model room is here. Yeah, so there's the old monogram kits. I got a few old car kits here that I do things with.
Oh yeah, there's some old. Oh boy, no, they're not for sale. Everybody looks at mine and they're always going, "Hey, is that for sale?" Oh, you have some hot ones there.
Yep,
those are some good ones. That's a nice little stash.
A lot of these have become masters, or will become masters at some point.
Yeah, those are good ones to do.
Yeah, I mean, I just
especially like that, those Firebirds, those early 70s Firebirds.
yeah, I've already done all those. I've got all the molds for those.
Do you? Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yep.
That's good to know. I have one, and I would rather buy a resin one from you than bust into mine. Might have to do that.
Yeah, we did. I've done 69 and 70 Grand Prix. So, and I've had some other things mastered that weren't ever kitted.
Yeah.
Like there's a 76 Trans Am.
Okay, cool.
So, and then here's an early 70s body.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's Trans Am, so that'll work for 70 to 73.
Yep. That is a super popular one right there.
Yep. There's a 71 Impala Sport Coupe.
What are you? Do you happen to have a 69 Impala?
Yeah. Yeah. I have the Sport
do you?
Yeah, Sport Coupe and Custom Coupe.
I think you have a new customer here. I've been wanting to do a 69. I've had an idea for a 69 Impala for a long time. And a buddy of mine just bought an annual kit, and he got a great deal, and it was big money. He showed it to me, and I went, "Oh!" He bought it over in Atlanta.
Right.
It's I got one.
Well, the annual kits were just the Sport Coupe.
Yeah.
Like the notchback or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
We do the custom, the fastback roof as well.
That's cool because that's exactly what I want.
Yep.
Oh, I got a great idea. I'll have to get that from you. Is that like on your website? You have it listed, or?
Yep, it's already there. Pictures of built ups and everything.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm going to be ordering that from you.
Yeah, it uses this AMT kit as a donor.
Yeah. That's cool. Wow, what a great line. You're hitting out. Yeah, when do you sleep? That's why you're there tonight, man. You're always there, huh?
We stare. I mean, I'm usually home by now. The store closes at 6, so it's almost 7:30 here now. So
yeah, you were telling me that you're busy there all day.
I usually get to the shop here somewhere between 5 and 6 in the morning.
We definitely do appreciate that's some great offerings you're bringing to the hobby, and that's. I know that with the enamels, I know there are still a lot of guys that really, really love and feel comfortable with enamels, and that's nice that you're bringing a product like that. Because getting factory colors for doing factory stock, showroom stock cars, especially muscle cars and stuff like that, and I know that back in the day, MCW was really in with getting the NASCAR colors too. You're still doing that too?
Yep.
And that's a big thing, especially the NASCAR modeling thing. Salvino's has really brought that end of the model car hobby up again, where it's just exploding bigger than it ever was because of them bringing all those models.
Oh yeah, and he uses our paint for pretty much exclusive.
Yeah. Yep, that I know.
Yeah. I've got, like I said, I got all the colors in lacquer that the race colors for the most part, and I'm working on the enamels as fast as I can.
I might, I'm willing to give enamels another shot, especially with what I've seen from your paint with other people. I might have to give that a try, and I like the idea of that hardener. So
it makes that much easier and that much less of a hassle that you don't have to wait 3 weeks to
That was always, and it's been tough in Arizona when it comes to enamels, because in the summer the heat we still get a little bit of humidity, and that makes the paint never set up. And then in our winters, it's just as bad. It's not that cold to most people, but it's cold enough here to just mess your paint up. I tried to paint some enamel the other day, and it was just an absolute disaster.
My store is a big old downtown building.
Yeah.
So it's drafty and it's cold, sometimes when it's cold outside, it don't get much above 65, 66 in here. Mm-hmm. And I've got no problems shooting paint all day long.
That's cool. That's good. Yeah, you definitely have, the chemistries, testers was like, it was old school. Enamels, paint chemistry has changed over the years. So it's not, especially since you're using, PPG, they're always cutting edge, state of the art, or however you want to say it, in the chemistry of paint. So that enamel is not when I think of enamel, because I have this horrible thing with testers.
The big downside to it is that it's expensive.
Oh yeah. Paint, everything's getting expensive too. But paint, it's all what you're after. If you're really looking for that, there's a difference. You could shoot. I know there's this battle out there where there's these guys that swear by going and buying their Krylon paint, and they get these great finishes, and that's fantastic. Not knocking them, but if you want to go to another level, there's just no way you're going to get it. I've tried it. There's no way you can get it with hardware rattle can paint. You got to step it up if you want to. If you don't, that's fine. But if you want a great level, beautiful paint job, that's the only way you're going to get it. Is you're going to have to spend the money, and you're going to have to do the airbrushing. And you don't sell it at all in cans. Everything is airbrush, right?
No, actually, I do have a limited number of rattle cans in lacquer.
Okay, because I remember that Dave had can. I think that's what I had used years ago.
Yeah, and they don't perform quite as well, just because you get that and whatnot. And, they're not cheap. It's $19 a piece, but it's one, it's the lacquer, and secondly, the price of everything is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I still sell a lot of cans, just because.
That's cool.
I've got people that are willing to pay even for special order spray cans, because they got to have X color for in a spray can, because that's all that they can use, or that's all they're comfortable using, or whatever the case. So we'll do special orders.
Well, that's good. I was going to ask you if you offered that service. That's nice to know.
I mean, like I said, it's it's not cheap, but it does. I mean, in fact, I'll be honest. I had a guy. There are more than 1,000 colors out there for cars.
Yeah,
and we special order, and even though I got to get something on the website that lets that happen, but we get a lot of people calling up for special order colors that we don't normally carry, because it's for that pink with purple polka dot car that was made the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, that there's one of, but they had it, and they got to recreate it. So they want that color, and it's just, it's an expensive process to mix up a color like that and put it in a spray can, because there's a lot of waste.
Yeah.
For a color that nobody else is ever going to want, but it can be done.
Yeah. Yeah. I've done the putting it into the spray cans. I know that whole process, and that machine, what you have, the equipment that you have to be able to do this that's you don't go find that stuff in a garage sale or over at Harbor Freight.
Right. When I was doing the enamels, I actually invested in the newest color camera that they offered, so that and things like that.
So someone could say, a guy could send you a spray out, and you could color match it, huh? Yeah,
for the most part. I did that with paint colors. I had a couple different guys send me swatches of engine colors for the X Railroad and the chassis system railroads.
Oh, wow.
And I was colors for them.
That's fantastic.
So, they became part of our line then,
Wow, you definitely have taken that. You've got all the proper equipment to do this right. Mm-hmm. That's really good to know. That's a fantastic service. And all this is on your website. You have a website with all your paints and your services and your resins.
The services aren't there, but that's something that people contact us for.
Okay.
Not to sound that way, but if I put, inquire about these services, I'd be answering emails, 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
I'd rather have someone call and I say, yep, I can do it. It's going to be this much. Do you want it done? And they say yes or no.
So what's your website then?
It's MCWFinishes.com.
That's simple.
Yeah,
no, it's
just
right there, people.
And then you have to, because there's so much there, sometimes on mobile devices, it takes a while to load. We don't have color pictures of every color, but we've got a lot. So sometimes it'll take a while to load. And if you go to the left side of the website, you can drill down into the categories. And then once you drill down, you have to sort of scroll back down and you'll find what you're looking for. We try to break it down as much as we can.
No, excellent.
So yeah, you can find, the Tri-5, Chevy colors. We pretty much make all of them.
That's good. No, I'm going to have to go check your website out. There's a few colors in my head. I might have to look into getting some bottles from you because I've been needing some factory colors that are, I don't know. I know there's a red that Ford had that was called a vermilion.
Yep, vermilion. It's almost looks like Chevy engine red.
Yeah, yeah, it does, but I don't know. It has this strange hue to it. It's just such a neat color. There's like, oh yeah, I don't know. It's such a cool color. Oh, there, yeah, that's it. Beautiful.
That's our enamel. They're half-ounce bottles. They're about the size of testers.
And you got a little ball in there. Here, it jingles. That's like.
We also have a label
great.
On what the color is.
Ah, the poppy red.
Yep, it's the same vermilion.
It is? Okay.
Yep. It's also the same thing as what they called coral in the early 70s.
But there's a new, I don't know what it's called. There is a new red that I know somebody who just bought a Ranger pickup that this red, it's a little more red than poppy red. And I thought that they were calling that vermilion. Now like I said, it's a modern Ford color. And I couldn't believe this color too. It was a really cool one.
Some of them, some of the newer stuff I can't make.
Yeah.
Just because it's, the paint systems that I use are designed for the older stuff.
Yeah.
Like my lacquers are single stage. You shoot them and they're done. You don't have to clear them if you want an authentic look because they're glossy. Same with the enamels. They're glossy. You don't have to clear them like a lot of paints out there.
Oh yeah. I know from what I saw of your enamels that Matthew was doing, they had needed no clear whatsoever.
Yep.
You could shave. If I shaved, I could shave right in the looking at his model.
Like with anything, there's no mist coats with this stuff, especially the lacquers. You just hose it on there and go.
Very easy to use.
The lacquers dry in 5 minutes. Depending on how heavy you put it on.
Yeah, that's what I love about lacquers.
I'll spray lacquer in here to show a customer, and we'll talk for 10 minutes. And then I'll take a piece of duct tape and put it on that spoon with no primer and not pull any paint off.
Oh, nice. That's another issue some people have is that when you're trying to do multiple colors and you go to peel it off and that paint makes people sad. So that stuff bites in. That lacquer bites in.
Yep.
Well, Mike, I want to really appreciate you taking the time and coming and talking to us and letting everybody know about what you have out there to offer. Sounds like a great product line, and maybe we get some people that didn't know about you to now know about you.
Well, I appreciate you putting me on and letting me plug the stuff. It's
oh yeah, definitely.
So
and thank you so much for taking the tour of the entire store and down in the dungeon. I really enjoyed that. I know a lot of people will because I liked your workshop. I can geek out really bad down in a place like that.
You are welcome. Again, I appreciate the opportunity.
All right. Well, I have one last thing to ask you.
Okay.
Do you know, I usually have the guests do my call off, my little, what I say at the end of my videos. Do you know it? Do you want to take a crack at it?
Let's see. Is it glue your fingers on after you've cut them off.
That works. That works perfect. I'll take that. Thanks. Thank you so much, Mike. It was great meeting you, and this was fun. You have a wonderful day, and everybody, we'll see you in the next video. Here's the producers.